Hi there, I'm Shane Spears and welcome to another edition of Summit Scale, beaming out to you from the beautiful city of Bath in the UK. My guest today is Trevor Lee. Trevor, a very warm welcome. Great to have you on our show.
Thank you, Shane. Great to be here.
Brilliant. For those of you that don't know him, Trevor helps business people deliver awesome presentations and win more sales pitch using his 7 Ps of presenting model. Trevor has been running his own company for 6.5 years, having had 29 years in local media in various director level roles. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to this. Trevor, the title of our interview today is Deliver Awesome Presentations, and we have 5 minutes for the interview. If you're ready, I'll start the clock.
Start the clock, Shane.
So what makes a great presentation?
Good question. I think for me, Shane, what makes a great presentation is that it doesn't feel like a presentation. Too many people, don't do enough things. And I've got 3 things that I ask people to write down if I'm coaching them on presentations: engage, educate, and entertain. And then when they're planning their presentation, I say to them, do you tick all those 3 things? Because if they don't, then that's very often where presentations don't work. And just to elaborate on that point, really, I think every great presentation has a clear purpose.
Right.
Many people do a presentation without really giving due consideration as to what they want the outcome to be. It's not often relevant to the audience. A great presentation also runs on time. How many, people when presentations run over on time, people forget how great the presentation was. All they're doing is look at their watch and saying, hey, this guy's going on too long. So, so those are the things I think really that make a great presentation.
And I think you've already touched on this, but why do presentations fail?
Well, I think mainly because they're not relevant to the audience. I think sometimes because people do what I call the drum banging. You've seen people go on there and they think, I just want to tell the audience how great I am, how many awards I've won, how brilliant our coffee machine is, all that nonsense.
Yeah.
And the audience thinking, what's in this for me? I don't need all this.
Yeah.
So that often happens. I call it sometimes the kitchen sink approach, Shane, where people decide they're going to do a presentation, so they're going to chuck absolutely everything into the mix.
Yeah.
As much as they can cram in.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, and finally, I think presentations fail through lack of preparation and practice, frankly.
Right. And many people, they hate the idea of presenting. How can they overcome that fear?
Well, that's true, actually. It's amazing how many people, come to me and say, I'm really nervous about presenting. And I think, and I'm shocked because I think they're a confident, outgoing person normally. Yeah. But I think for me, again, preparation and practice. If you get that bit right, that will help overcome fear of presenting. Right. On the day, I say to people, wear clothes, and which is always a good idea, of course. Yeah. I mean, wear clothes that you feel confident in, feel good about yourself in. Because to do a presentation, I work with people, I say, I just want you to be the best of you for however long you've got. So clothes. And also, I think, doing a little bit of, just get the adrenaline flowing a little bit, but not too much. So little loosening up, that sort of thing. Right. But everyone has their own ways of dealing with nerves. If nerves is an adrenaline rush, but if you can turn it into a positive one rather than a negative one, the negative one makes you feel nervous. The positive one makes you feel excited about doing the presentation. Yeah. Very easy to say, not quite so easy to do.
No, of course.
But those are some of the things I would advise people to do to try and be more confident and feel less nervous.
And what's the best way of avoiding giving your audience death by PowerPoint? Because we've all done it.
Well, I'm sure, Shane, everyone listening to your show will have experienced death by PowerPoint at least once. Yeah. So my thought is, well, the best way of avoiding death by PowerPoint is not to use PowerPoint. Right. I often do a lot of presentations myself. I don't use PowerPoint. I've got an old suitcase full of props. Right. Which is memorable. Yeah. And also means I don't have to worry about the kit, and I won't be causing death by PowerPoint. I call the suitcase the 1960s version of PowerPoint. But fundamentally, too many words on the slides. I'm sure you've seen that, where people just ram everything in. So when I'm working with people, I say, if you're going to put words on your slide, start with 1. Right. And if you need more than 1, okay. But what people do is they cut and paste stuff and all that sort of nonsense. And then my other rule of thumb is use your presentation, your slides, if you like, as a prompt, not a script. Right. So it's a prompt for your audience. So if you've got a couple of words on the slide and they're thinking, what's he talking about? That prompts them. Right. But if you put too many words, they start reading the slides, and so do you. How many, you see those presenters, don't you? Turn around and keep reading from the screen. The other thing I think to help avoid death by PowerPoint is ditching the marketing template. Right. Now, marketing people listening to this will go, oh, you can't do that. Yeah. But I reckon marketing templates will take up 20 to 25% of your slide.
Right.
And it's as though, you get past slide 1, if you take the template off, everyone's going to forget who you are. Yeah. So, ditch that template. It's, you don't need it, and it just clutters stuff up. And so those are some of the things, Shane, I think that can help you avoid death by PowerPoint.
Right. And how important is practice?
Oh, well, it's amazing, really, because I think, as I said right at the beginning, presentations fail through lack of practice.
Right.
And the key reason that people run over on time is they don't practice to the time. And my rule of thumb is that practice delivering your presentation in 80% of the time you've been allocated. So we're doing a 5-minute interview. If this was a 5-minute presentation, I'd say to people, deliver it in 4 in practice. You'll be fine on the day. You won't overrun on 5.
Right.
And the other thing I find is that there's this correlation between the higher the organization you are, the bigger your job title, the less inclined you are to practice. It's as though, I've been presenting for years and years and years. I don't need to practice. And I think that's, why practice is really important.
Right.
And one of the challenges I have is explaining to businesses that they should use their best presenter to present, not necessarily the person with the biggest job title.
Right.
But practice really important.
Right. So on that point, do business leaders make great presenters?
A lot, yes, but not all the time.
Right.
Being the CEO of a company doesn't mean you're the best presenter in the company. And if you're a decent CEO, you'll recognize that and you'll think, right, let's get, that person over there to do the presentation. Especially when they're doing a sales pitch.
Yeah.
But, so use your best presenter. But again, often, CEOs tend not to want to practice. They tend to want to prepare. Oh, I can wing this. I've done it for years. And no one in their organizations, unfortunately, will say, hang on a minute, you do need to prepare. You do need to practice. Frankly, you're not that good.
Trevor, that is brilliant stuff. Sadly, we've come to the end of our time. Folks, for more resources, check out Trevor's website, www.trevorleemedia.co.uk. Trevor, appreciate it. Really great insight.
Thank you, Shane. Been a pleasure to be on the show.
Thanks for checking out our Summit Scale podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes and subscribe, rate us and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to learn more about the work we do or are looking for a load of free resources to help with scaling your business, check out our website, www.summitleader.com.